YAHOSHUAH. Hallelujah. Amen. So I am really happy to create you again. Okay, let me let me check my class in case your ayahs will not be difficult. Yeah, there's nothing, it's only the ayahs. Okay, YAHOSHUAH bless all of you. It's the episode of YAHOSHUAH Ziyadi Ayla, who is entering your house. At the moment is the teaching number 3 that we're going to follow. So okay, let's continue the teaching. It is going to explain that the Quran is false. Why? I chose that this is the title because the book of Quran really criticizes the truthness of the Torah. They really say that it's false, it has changed, and so on. And that's why Elias is bringing in here for today that those are fake. And if in case we take that what they declared are true, why did they write that in their book of Quran? It's not logic. Why is it possible that you're going to write a wrong information? The fact that you follow that Sefer Torah, people who are following that book of beloved Father YAHVAH, they become someone who never sinned. They never sin. That is the goodness in the true God. You become someone who never sinned. That Quran will never do that. It's the book of the God of Abraham, which is the Sefer Torah, which can do that, because they're appointed to YAHOSHUAH, the son of Maria, and those who are following that son of Maria, they become someone who never sinned, because that is the program of the God of Abraham, to make people a non-sinner, and they're really saved, because that sin makes the face of the God of Abraham hidden to every human's, whether you are Muslims or fake Christianity, whether you are sinners, you are not with the true God. That is it, introductions. If it is, what are you saying, Quran? If you say that it's fake, why did you write it in your book? If it is already false, why did you write it again in your book? So your book is twice time to be fake. But it is here to prove to you that Sefer Torah is the right one, that yours is fake. We're not going to talk about the details about faking words, but there is no words which is fake. But in that passage that Elias is going to explain about the accomplishment of the words in the book of Sefer Torah of Jews. Okay, let's begin with the story of Abraham. And in the end of Abraham's story, who did had the covenant from Abraham and follow his disciples. I'm going to explain it, and after I'm going to show you the chapter and verses in the Sefer Torah. That the goal is to show to you that there is no fake words. That the Quran, they say that it's false because they want to put a smile, and they want to show it that it's the Arabs which was chosen, and Ismail is the ancestor of all Arabs, and if they drown Ismail's, and the end that they blamed the Sefer Torah, and it's the Quran which is true, and it's Ismail who was chosen, not Isaac. That's why they blame the Torah, and they valued the Quran that it is the right one. That's why I say to you that you didn't know about the Quran if it was not in the Sefer Torah, and you cannot deny that. And even the Sefer Torah of Jews, that you can find that true story. Why dare you say the Sefer Torah is false? That's why I say to you that if it's false, you should not take the information from it. And if you say that you have the right one, show it. Elias has the right one. If you have the right one, you are never sin. Even that doesn't exist in you. In the Quran, in Muslims, that doesn't exist in you. The Quran said that you cannot change people into perfect people. It's in your Quran. And there is no one who is perfect, but only when you are following Yahushua, the son of Mary. Okay, let's go into the real topic that you cannot deny. How truth is the book of Sefer Torah. I'm going to begin the story, and everyone follow this topic, this story that Eli is telling you. And when it is finished, that I'm going to give you the chapter and verses that you cannot change or deny how truth it is in the Sefer Torah. First of all, Abraham began in the place Ur of Chaldee. Ur of Chaldee. In that place that is Ur, that he left, that is in the area of Babylon. We're going to show the picture later. And he left from it with his father. I really say that his family are really a sorcerer. They are not perfect humans, even Abraham at that time, that his father Terah cursed following idol. When he left, he went to the place Haran. That place at the moment is in Turkey. And when they were led by their father, it's at that place that Abraham was shown to beloved father YAHVAH, that I will make you stronger, and I will bless these nations through your descendants. It's in that Aran's area that the God of Abraham talked to him, and he went to the place. And when he went to Canaan land, that YAHVAH showed him the Canaan land, and that YAHVAH said, I have given you this land and to your descendants. At that time, that there was no precision that for whose descendant, because Abraham gave birth of 2 boys, Isaac and Ismail. And he didn't give birth, and that declaration was revealed because there was great famine at that time in Canaan land, and they went away to Egypt, and Egypt went there, and it's there that they saw Agar. And when the time of famine was finished, Abraham get back to the Canaan land, and when he get back to the Canaan land, he lived in the place, its name is Hebron. That is the end of his way. When those stories are finished that I have told you, Abraham received words that each in your descendants all nations will be blessed. Even at that time he didn't give birth, and he thought that who will receive that blessing? Even I am really elder, and it's Sarah who took Agar. Sarah said that that we don't give birth because I cannot be pregnant, but we have a slave men and women here, and get married with her, and that is your children. And when let it be that Isaac will be alive in front of you, then Canaan land will be mine and for my descendants. And beloved Father YAHVAH said that Ismail will not inherit you, that the one that you will give birth from your belly, that will inherit you. And it's Isaac, through Isaac descendants will bless all nations around the world. That is the discussion between God of Abraham and Abraham. And time was coming, Isaac, because Ismail was given birth, and that Isaac was given birth as well. Wait a minute. After, because Isaac was growing up, and there was a kind of a traditions way at that time. Sarah was very angry because Ismail was laughing at Isaac, and Sarah was really angry. Go away, you the slave women, because you cannot inherit my son. And Abraham was really angry. And the God of Abraham said, accomplish the word of Sarah, because it's only through Isaac descendant that I will do my covenant, and that I will bless all nations. And there Sarah was fired from Sarah. And when they went away, they went to the desert land Beelzebub. And when they went there, they were lost. But suddenly God helped them. God gave them water, that YAHVAH created water there. That Beelzebub, it was about under the Canaan land. And the story was continuing, and they finally go to the area when Ismail, that was not there anymore. That God said to Abraham to bring Isaac to the mountain, bring him to me if you really love me. It's really logic that God said that because they were a cursor, in case they're going to follow fake gods. So if Abraham really dared to kill Isaac, God really saw that Isaac really loved him, and he didn't allow him to kill Isaac, but he replaced it into lambs. And God said that because you don't defend your only child son, because it's because God considered that it's only Isaac his son, and it's through Isaac that I will bless all nations, and it's him who is going to inherit you. And know from God, know that your descendants will be slaved in other nations for 400 years, and after that I will bring them back to their land. And what will happen after that? When the word was finished to Isaac, Isaac was dead. He gave birth two boys, Jacob. And God said, I don't need Esau. I like Jacob. I don't like Esau. And the choice was given to Jacob, and he becomes Israel. The children of Jacob becomes the children of Israel, and they becomes the children of Judah and the Levite, and it become the new covenant for this world. That is the first story for this first part. And after that, when it was coming, there was a great famine in the Canaan land, in all nations, and they must went to Egypt land. that they said it's Israel. They become Israel, and they had the name Israel through the angels of God. And they went away to Egypt because of the famine in the Canaan land, with Jacob and his 12 children and his wife as well. And from that time they were living there, and they became slaves. And after that, it's continue the story. And which one do you say that it's false? If that story continues, there was a time the words of God was accomplished, that is the descendant of Isaac through Jacob, that they were slaves for 400 years. And when it is finished, the 400 years, God will accomplish His word, that it's your descendant that I will give you this Canaan land. And there were God called Moses. And Quran cannot deny that that's really people who are living in Canaan land. And the land must be given to them, and it's his descendants who were fighting to everyone's there in the Canaan land, and they had the land in the era of Joshua. And Joshua is the military, the soldiers of Moshe. There's the story. So here we really say that the God of Abraham really said it's for Israel, the Canaan land. And it's Israel is the owner. There is no one who can own it. It's only Israel. But what is happening there? We really see, according to Muslims or the Quran, they doubt about that it's Ismail who was about to be sacrificed. And I really say that Ismail's descendants, they are not Arabs, but Ismail is Chaldeans, Babylonians. They were according to the truth. We really know that Babylonians kingdom at that time, it was really strong in the Nebuchadnezzar time. They had their civilization, and they are descendants of Ismail, because the son of Abraham is Chaldean. His mother is Egyptian. There is no Arabs in that. And his story, it was found in Shura, Syria at the moment. It's just above, and it arrived in Avila. That is the story of Ismail. He didn't go to Arab's land. However, Quran take it in their book that Ismail is the grandfather of Arabs, and they say that Canaan land is to Arabs, not for Israelis anymore. Because Israel went back to Canaan land, and they defeated all humans there. So it's so clear that it's Israel who were chosen by YAHVAH, not Ismail. So it's forced that they say that Canaan land is for Israelis. It's forced. Israel is in the sea, Jordani, Lebanon, Syria, and around it. That's what is happening there. They are fighting against Israel, and they're not happy to Israel, because around Israel they have become Muslims. So let's continue the stories. When there was a misunderstanding, a great mistake that Israelis did, they worshipped Baal, and YAHVAH was really furious that YAHVAH make them scattered out of Israeli land, and they went scattered by the Babylonian kings, and they were really destroyed. They became slaves. There are many people who enslaved them. There are many Greek, even Arabs attacked them at that time. And we really saw that it's Hitler who destroyed the Jews, and so on. And we really saw that Jewish was really destroyed and they scattered around the world. However, that YAHVAH remembered his words. Even they were scattered by beloved Father YAHVAH because of their foolishness. That YAHVAH said that I always remember my words to Abraham. That YAHVAH gathered them back to their land, and everyone in this world, they know that. Those who are learning that in the history and geography, they really know that the Jews, they were gathered back to their land in 1822. The question is that why did they gather to go back to their land? Because that is the words of that YAHVAH, an order from him. And when Jeremiah said, protect them, and NATO and USA, they protect Israelis, and they don't let these Palestinians touch them. The Palestinians who becomes Muslims, so they don't let Muslims touch Israel. I said, I don't say Arabs Muslims, but they become Muslims. That is the truth. All around Israel become Arabs, but they're Palestinians. It's Gazawi, it's Cisjordanian, in Lebanon, Syria, they are fighting against Israel. And even Egyptian is not happy with Israel. Let's go back to the story. So if Israel will come back to their land, it means that the words of God is kept, that this land is for your descendant, and that YAHVAH has kept it till the end. And here the American was protecting Israel. He justifies the words of God according to the book of Jeremiah, that keep the Israelian like the shepherd who protect his lambs. So the question is, if the God of Abraham, who is Allah, if the God of Abraham, who is YAHVAH, that they said it's Allah according to Muslims, because they say that Allah is the most high, and in that Allah that you can find the name YAHVAH, the mightiest. So if we take a look at this Allah, all God's name is covered by this Allah. Even the God of Abraham, YAHVAH, according to their book, but that is not true. But that is according to their book. So if you call YAHVAH, according to them, it's still Allah. So if it's Allah who is YAHVAH, why they are fighting against one another when Israelis are come back to their land? Why do Arabs fight against Israel? It means that Allah and YAHVAH are not the same. That means that they are not the same. But if they are just one according to you, that I'm going to explain after that Ismail is not Arabs. It's really fake, the one who said that. But if the God of those two parts, that the God of Ismail, but the God of Arabs is the same as the God of the Jewish YAHVAH, they should not fight one another, Muslims, between Israelis, and they should not fight because they are worshipping the same God. But if they are fighting one another till now between Muslims and Israel, it means that YAHVAH is really different from Allah, the God of Muslims, and YAHVAH, the God who drive Israel out of the Egypt. But you just force it to be the same because you are imitating the Sefer Torah. You are crying to be the descendant of Ismail, and that is the end. Answer that if it is just one YAHVAH and YAHOSHUAH, YAHVAH in the Sefer Torah, Allah in the Quran, if it is the same, why do they are fighting one another and you don't accept that Israel's land is yours? That is the truth, and that's why you are fighting non-stop with Israel. But Israel, it's normal that they are defending it because it's theirs. Those who are touching it, they're going to punish them because it's you who are really. If they didn't despise that YAHVAH, it's really another thing what was happening. So that is the picture that I say to you to prove that the Quran is false. And it's not really the same as Sefer Torah because they're fighting at the moment, and even it's really that YAHVAH who drove the Israel to Canaan land. So if that YAHVAH is same as Allah, why that YAHVAH is fighting against to Allah, Allah the God of Muslims in Quran? Why do they fight one another? But if they're fighting against one another, it means that YAHVAH is not the same as Allah. They're really different because Allah is the God of Muslims in the Quran, which is already fake, but YAHVAH is the God of Jews, that he justifies his word till now that Canaan land is his. So it's clear that Allah is fake, YAHVAH is true one, because it ends in the scamming. You scam the words of God of Abraham. What is happening at the moment that it's not really conforming to the words. Because if it's YAHVAH, the God that you were worshipping, you should not fight against Israelis. Because you cannot deny the words which is in it that the Canaan land is through the descendant of Abraham, and they should not fight one another. But if they are fighting, the God of Abraham is not YAHVAH, but it's Allah, and YAHVAH is for Israel, and he never accepts that Canaan land is for Muslims, and Arabs cannot deny that words till the end, until now. That is the proof that YAHVAH is the truth, and he is the true, and till now they cannot fight against Israel anymore. And Quran is really fake and false. It's nonsense that they're going to say that Ismail is going to inherit the Canaan land. It's really fake and false, the Quran, because the words of God didn't went to Arabs, that it's they who are going to inherit it. It's the Israelis who were gathered back to their land in 1822. So it is 200 years ago. To sum up that longer words, I really say to you that, and it's so clear, the words of God is true. The Sefer Torah is the true one. The Quran of Muslims is fake, and it really imitated. And what is really true, that they really removed the book of in the Sefer Torah, and they really created their own book, and they say that it's an ancient book, and it's better to listen to the newer prophets. And you cannot deny that. It's you who say that. It's not. There is no need to listen to the ancient book anymore. It's better to use the prophecy on the prophet of Muslims. That's really fake. Okay, let's follow the picture of Abraham with the chapters and verses. I'm going to show you the picture. This is the way that Abraham went. The migration of Abraham to Ur to Aran. And for you who are watching this in a red line is his way. It's a kind of current. I can move it. Yes, it's okay. And it was arrived in Ai. He stopped in Ai. He began in Babylon, or that he left and he went to Ran, and he went down to Canaan. It's this red flesh, red arrow, who is telling about the Abraham's story. And he went to Egypt and went back to this place. Let's check it. And when he went back, he stayed in Hebron, because it's not far away. And that Bethel that he lived there, it was just in the Hebron area, beside the Dead Sea. And it's in the Hebron that I said to you. And he was lived in Tennessee, and he was in Hebron. That was happening in Abraham's story, according to the picture. And you can think about that he was really arrived in his Canaan land that was given to him and his descendant. And let's see to the Sefer Torah of Jews. Let's read the chapter and verses from here, from now. You can take these chapters and verses to explain the true word. Let's see that Abraham is from the Ur Chaldee. Genesis chapter 11 verse 31. Let's read this, and you write when it is already clear that story. I must do it as a story so that you understand the story. Terah took his son Abraham, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abraham, and together they set out of Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. That is the first. But when they came to Haran, they settled here. And Abraham called him that I'm going to give you the Canaan land. Let's read in the Genesis chapter 12 verse 1 to 5. Lord YAHVAH had said to Abraham, go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make you the name great, and you will be a blessing. So you will be a blessing from his descendant, that these nations will be blessed. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curse, I will curse. And all people on earth will be blessed through you. So Abraham went as YAHVAH had told him, and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out of the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. That is it. What I have shown you before. Is it clear? So it's clear that he was really arrived in Canaan land, that I will fill all nations. I will bless all nations through your descendants. So it's really the descendants of Abraham who will inherit him in that Canaan land. But there was no precision here. Who among his descendants, because he hadn't give birth at that time. Let's see that in the Genesis chapter 12 verse 7, that it's through your descendant that I will give this planet Earth. YAHVAH appeared to Abraham and said, to your offspring I will give this land. So he built an altar there to YAHVAH, who had appeared to him. So here, that YAHVAH really said that this land is for your descendant. It's for your descendant. Who among Abraham's descendant who will inherit the land? Let it be the story. Let it continue. As I have explained to you that there was a great famine, and Abraham went to Egypt. We see that in the Genesis chapter 12 verse 10, and that there they saw Agar, and Agar became their slave, their maid. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abraham went down to Egypt to live there for well, because the famine was severe. And there that they met Agar, Agar became their maid at that time, and they were together. Let's continue the words. What is the next? As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman you were. They were settled in Bethel. Let's read that in the Genesis chapter 13. Abraham had become very wealthy in the